Now, the ACP is just one of a large number of Agile certifications that have entered the marketplace in the last several years. Organizations such as the Scrum Alliance and Scrum.org are representative of the other groups offering Agile certifications for Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, product owners, and even team members. However, there is a major difference between those certifications and the ACP. Most of the other available certifications focus on the Agile framework, Scrum, whereas the ACP requires knowledge of a range of Agile life cycles, leadership and coaching techniques, as well as several scaling techniques. Additionally, the ACP requires experience both with traditional and Agile projects. I personally believe these differences give the ACP a significant advantage over certifications such as the CSP, the CSM 1 and 2, the PSM 1 or 2, and in fact, most ACP candidates already hold one or more of these other certifications. It's also important that you understand what the ACP is not. You should not consider the ACP as a replacement for the PMP. PMI's Project Management Professional project is still far and away the gold standard for professional project leaders and for employers. The ACP is an add-on credential for that. It shows not only do you know the basics, but you also know the advanced techniques we talk about in Agile development. The ACP also does not represent an attempt by PMI to hijack Agile development or create its own flavor of Agile. In fact, as I've already mentioned, the ACP requires you to know a number of the most popular Agile frameworks or life cycles. Additionally, you should recognize that the ACP was developed in partnership with the leading Agile association, the Agile Alliance. Finally, completing the ACP certification process is not enough to ensure you're an expert in Agile. It requires a lot of experience and practice to really ensure you know your stuff. Now, if you're new to Agile and come from a more traditional project management background, there is the potential that you have a number of misconceptions as well, and it's important that we dispel those. Agile is not really all that new. In fact, it has its roots in the 1950s and 1960s. It does not represent a set of practices devised by lazy IT professionals who are simply undisciplined or unwilling to document their work or hate planning. By the same token, Agile development does not represent a silver bullet capable of solving all your organization's project ills. Now, we will begin our course by examining the processes required to apply for the exam and look deeper at the test itself. Some candidates find the inclusion of such topics unnecessary. But many of my students have come back to me and told me that they were extremely helpful to them as they provided some valuable insights on how the exam is designed and structured, along with some tips to make the application process a little bit easier. Once we complete this initial discussion, we can begin the first of our content chapters. It's called Agile Principles and Mindset. In this chapter, we will discuss all of the Agile life cycles, frameworks, and methodologies you need to know for the exam. And believe me, there is an awful lot of ground to cover. In fact, this one area is so large that we actually break it into 2 sections to make it easier for you. From there, we'll move on to discuss value-driven delivery, stakeholder engagement, boosting team performance, adaptive planning, problem detection and resolution, before ending our course with a conversation about continuous improvement. Now, don't worry if many of these terms seem foreign to you at this point. I absolutely promise we will define all of them as we go through our course together. The course is made up of 3 parts: the video lecture to which you are now listening, practice quizzes that appear at the end of each chapter, and the downloadable PDF version of our course manual. As you listen to these lectures, you'll find that both they and the course manual are organized using the exact same structure as in the exam itself. However, like most college courses, I will not simply be reading either the manual or PMI's Agile guide to you. I'm pretty confident you can read on your own. Instead, I will be focusing in on key concepts, and it is assumed that you are reading through both the Agile Practice Guide and your course manual, as all 3 resources are fair game, not only for your practice quizzes, but, all importantly, the real exam. My name is 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝘀, and I'm your instructor. Before we dive into our content, let me take just a quick moment to answer that all-important question. Why should you listen to anything I have to say? Well, I'm quickly approaching 30 years of experience in the field of performance management, to which Agile development belongs. I've written over 30 books and articles on the topics we're going to discuss in this course, and have served on numerous boards of directors, including serving 3 years on PMI's Global Board of Directors, 2 of which I was one of her 3 most senior officers worldwide. Today, I serve as the president and CEO of LookingGlass Development, a performance management training and consulting firm based in Denver, Colorado. To date, over 10,000 students have used my training to pass their PMI certification exams. I promise I can help you achieve those results too.